Hello, this is Zegbeast, and today we are going to animate a weapon. So we're going to animate an AKM. It's a new one we've just got in from Tim Bergholz, which we're very happy to have. He's given it away for community to use. So what we're going to do is have a quick look at it in Bulldozer. View as Bulldozer start. So you can see it. It's a lovely model. He's done an awesome job of this. Okay, you can see what a nice model it is. There we are. And when I press the enter key, it cycles through all the animations. Now I don't have. Oh, I have. Okay. There's, yeah, so I've put, so the animations are in there because the model config is telling it that they're there, but as you can see nothing works properly because I haven't set any axes up. There we go. So there's a few things going a bit squiffy. Yeah, looking really bad. Okay, so we'll come out of that, minimize that. Let's just close Bulldozer, which hopefully won't close Fraps. No, it hasn't, because I just lost a video a minute ago. Right, so back to the AKM. So what we want to do first is we want to add firing points, Usti and Connect Lavne. So how do we know where to center them? Well, we want to center them on the barrel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select points. Actually, let's just hide the proxies because they always get in the way. Now I want to select points on this barrel, so let's take the end of the barrel, copy the points, go to the memory LOD. Ah, this is the wrong sodding model, isn't it? There's the AKM, right. Yes, I thought there was something wrong with the end of that. It doesn't look like an AKM. So, okay, this will do. So I just want something that's a circle at the end. There we go. Copy all those points, go to memory LOD, paste, view left. That's the center of my barrel, somewhere in there. So if I go points, merge, that's now a point in the center of my barrel. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy that point and paste, view on top, lock X to Z, and drag it along. Now I tend to like doing this as though it's proper, so I'm going to drag it. Oh, don't want it moving up and down. X to Z. I'm going to put it where the cartridge is, and I'm going to put this one right where the end of the barrel is. So that accuracy of the weapon is pretty much confirmed by the distance between, well, the length of the barrel basically. So this one is going to get named Connect Lavne. All in check means the muzzle, the chamber, and then this one gets named Usti Lavne, and that's the end of your barrel. Now you grab the two together, hold down Control and right click, new barrel axis. That barrel axis is basically what you use between these 2 points. In other words, it's for something rotating around the end, around this way, and that will be our muzzle flash using barrel axis to rotate. So let me just check one I prepared earlier. So we need a bipod point. Okay, so view front. So we need a bipod point. So I'm just going to put this in here by pressing insert, new bipod. So that's the resting position of the gun when it's on the ground. So I'll put it about here. It's worth having a play with that. Next we're going to want a bolt axis. So let's look at the memory. So let's look at the where the bolt is. In here, bolt, bolts there, and it's from about there to about there. So if I just grab some points there, whoops, some points there and some points there, copy them into the memory, paste. This one I want to go points merge, and they're both called bolt at the moment, so this one copy and paste, and X to Z drag it to that one, and then hide that, delete this one, so that was just a marker, unhide it. These two are now completely in a line, and at the moment they're called bolt. I'm going to rename them bolt underscore axis. That's now a bolt axis that's the right length of how far I want it to move when we do the translation animation. Okay, so far we've got a muzzle flash that can rotate, bullets that can come out, a bolt that can move, and somewhere to rest our weapon. So what other animations do we need? We need an eye point, but I'll come on to that later. We've got a mag switch. Okay, so we have a mag switch here. This piece here, all of this basically bends and moves, so our axis should be in the center of this circle. So copy that, paste, points, merge. Okay, now view top, copy and paste, and lock Y to Z. Is that right? Control Z. No, lock X to Z. There we go. So when I view from front, you don't see any new point, but when you view from top, you've now got 2 points there, and that is called new mag switch axis, and that's what we're going to use for rotating our magazine switch, so magazine release. Okay, so we also want a magazine axis, which is going to be 2 points at the top of our magazine, because with this particular animation we're using from niarms, it basically rotates the magazine forwards in a kind of rocks it out of its position. So it doesn't matter really where this goes, so I'll just press insert, then I'll go copy and paste, view top, lock X to Z, no, undo, lock Y to Z, there we go, and then bring both of those back so they're centered. It doesn't really matter, but it keeps it tidy, and that is going to be our magazine axis. Okay, so you can see how we're adding all these axes. I'm using a reference weapon here, which is one I did earlier, and then we've got Nabanicha start and end, which basically are where the shell casings come out. So let's have a look. So on our weapon, the casing comes up, gets put forward, bullets fired, casing ejects. It's never right above there, it's always pushed forward into the chamber, so we need it somewhere around here. So make a new point, insert, new, Nabanicha start. Now I think I've spelt that wrong. I'm just going to go back and check. Nabo and then J, Nietzsche start, and it's all as one word, so there we go. Right click, rename, Naboy Nietzsche start, done. Okay, now I'm going to put another one back here, insert, new, Naboy Nietzsche end. Right, now let's have a look at those 2 points, view from the front of the gun. Okay, so we need it, view from the top, so you can see this is the side it ejects from, so we want to start here, and the end wants to be further out, view front, and higher up, which it is. So actually AKs tend to spit bullets out slightly backwards as well, don't they? So let's make it backwards a little bit. Just saving my model in case O2 crashes, which it sometimes does. So what else have we got to do? The selector, yeah, the fire selector. Okay, so fire selector is this. Whoops, let me do that. That's the fire selector, where we select from safe to semi to full. So I'm going to copy all of that ring, go into memory, paste, points, merge. Right, now that's called selector, and I'm going to rename it selector axis. Now I'm going to go copy and paste, view top, and it's here, and we need to go XZ lock, no, undo with Control Z, YZ lock. There we go, there's our axis. So selector axis, yep, all done. View front, and let's have a look at my reference again. Trigger axis, so we need a trigger axis. What you can do here is, if you want to be cheeky, is just grab an existing, paste it in there into an edit LOD, and then rename the axis to trigger axis, and then cut it, paste it back into your memory LOD, move it, and what we should find is selector axis, yep, is not including it. Trigger axis is its own beast. So let's put it about there. That's where we want it to rotate the trigger. What else do we need to animate? Well, there's all of this stuff which I got from niarms, which basically is another axis for rotate it, which is here somewhere, which is called, what's it called? The rear sight axis. There we go. Which is basically animates the rear sight here, which goes up and down, and then we've got the rear notch axis, which is a translation. So this is this piece that goes up and down, which makes this go up as it rotates. This moves up and down just to right. So all I'm going to do there is I'm going to take all of those pre-made pieces, copy them, and paste them into my memory LOD, because I've pre-made them. I don't want to go into the details of how to do that here. So what we then do is look in bulldozer. Okay, there's our weapon. Let's just rotate it around so we can see the bolt. Okay, maybe a little bit that way. There we go. So what have we got? We've got a reload, which now has a trigger. So that trigger goes too far and probably needs to be sorted out. Now the reload animation plays backwards, so you set it to 1 and then you start looking at what's happening. So you can see here the trigger is doing the wrong way round. That needs to be changed in the model config. Reload magazine, you should see, yeah, you see the selector is actually going forward, and then the magazine rocked the wrong direction. That axis, it shouldn't be rocking like that, it should be rocking forward. So that's got to change. Then we've got weapon mode, that is working, that is correct. Ammo random should rotate the muzzle flash, which you can see it is. Has suppressor hides the muzzle flash, no problem. Zeroing now animates the foresight correctly. So the trigger's wrong and the reload magazine part's wrong. So let's have a look at that. So the trigger, so we start reload at 1 and then we hold down the shift key and the left square bracket, and we can see as we fire, so we're starting from this position, so the trigger's in the wrong place. As we fire, the bolt comes back, then it goes forward again, and as we reach 0 on the reload anim, the trigger's gone forward again. So what I'm going to do is quickly look in the model config at the trigger, and I'm going to say min value for it to move backwards is going to be near the 1 mark. So it should be, in fact it should be at max value 1, min value 0.9. so it happens right at the beginning when we're playing it backwards that we pull the trigger. Now I'm going to make another trigger animation, and I'm just going to reference trigger above and call it trigger 2. Now I don't need to have all of that in there because it inherits from above, and this time the min value is going to be 0.8 and the max value 0.9, and this is going to be the return, and it's going way too far, so I'm going to take it from rad 30 degrees to rad 20. So there we go, let's try that. So now in order to see this in Bulldozer, you'll see it doesn't work still, it's still showing the same animation. So what we do is we go into the memory LOD. Now we reload the viz LOD, go back into Bulldozer, and now you'll see, okay, we're at 1, and when we go backwards the trigger's going the wrong way. Okay, so back to here. Now we want to say, instead of this one, it's rad 20 and rad minus 20, so we swap them round. Back to oxygen, memory, back to LOD, back to Bulldozer, and reload set to 1, and as we pull the trigger the bolt goes back. There we go, happy days. So that's now working correctly. Now magazine reload was also, yeah, you push that forward and the magazine's supposed to rotate, but it's rotating the wrong way. So let's have a look at them. I suspect the axis is only got 1 point. View top. No, it has got 2 points. Okay. Let's just check that's not called. That's magazine axis. Is anything else called in that selection? Because it might be animating. Magazine underscore axis. Let's just check that's actually what it's called when we. So we look in here, magazine rock. It's magazine axis, all one word. So let's put an underscore in there. Just going to copy that and search for any more instances of magazine axis. We haven't got any. So save. Go back to VisLod. Whoops, and go back to O2 Bulldozer, and oh, what the hell happened there? So now this is where you hold shift down and you can see it's animating the wrong way. Okay, that's because my axis is now in a different direction, so I'm going to put that on rad minus 45 and then magazine rock 2 back onto rad 45. Okay, and save, and here we go back to memory LOD just to reset Bulldozer, and now there we go, you can now see magazine rocks forward, goes away, and when it comes back you'll notice it's got bullets in it, but it's quite hard to tell, but yeah, there's bullets in there now, and we put it back in and we're done. So that's pretty much it. That's kind of some rough basic animations done on a weapon, just to show you how it works. And you'll be shooting this weapon soon in game. So okay, I'll leave it there. Peace and love.